How's it going, everyone? This is AVC Prime. So we're finally finished priming the Gundam kit. So it's ready for airbrushing. And if you messed up, don't worry. You can always send your kit and try it again. As you can see, this is it's not perfect. I didn't prime it perfectly, but I just primed it to show you guys how easy it can be. Don't be afraid of messing up or trying other primers that I didn't use. So before I airbrush it, I airbrush each part to their specific color. What I'm gonna try to do right now is do a little bit of pre-shading. So pre-shading is basically a form of highlighting the shadows on a kit. Some people go crazy and they do like the edges, like on the shoulders. What I try to do, I try to focus a natural line. So what I usually do, I either take a picture or I look at it like this. So I see that it has natural shadows and I try to match it. So what I will do, I will take like the whole arm apart and I'll look at it. So I'm gonna try to pre-shade this whole part by itself. So I will look where the natural shadows are and try to imitate that when I'm airbrushing the kit. So that's basically what I'm gonna do right now, is just take each individual section apart. Alright, so let me get the paint ready. So for the paint that I'm gonna use today, it's gonna be Vallejo black, and this is already, it's supposed to be thinned down for airbrushing, but depending on the type of airbrush that you have, you may need to thin it more. So another type of paints that I like to use are Tamiya, and I tried to look for black, but currently I didn't have any available, so that's why I'm gonna use Vallejo right now for this demonstration. But what I like to I really like to use Tamiya paint when I'm airbrushing. Really good paint, and it doesn't get stuck on the airbrush, so it doesn't clog it up as easily as testers. And to thin it down, I just use regular alcohol from the store, so I get the 91%, and it's really great, especially for Tamiya paints. And I noticed that it's also really great for Vallejo paint, so it's up to you if you want to buy the specialized Tamiya thinner, but I've been using this for years, so I like it. So let me get the paints ready. So for the airbrush, I'm gonna use the regular brush that I started with. So this is the Masters airbrush that I showed you on the first video. So let me clip the parts that I'm gonna airbrush right now. That's the thing, when you're airbrushing, I mean, it's gonna be your own kit, so don't be afraid of either changing the colors of the kit or doing something that you like. Can I set this aside because I ran out of clippers? Let me test that compressor, make sure it's on. Okay, looks like we're good to go. So on my thinning ratio, what I like to do is 3 to 1. So 3 thinner and 1 will be the paint. This one I had a little bit of paint in there, so I'm gonna try to get it out. Okay, now the paint. Alright, let's mix it. Alright, so it should be ready. Let me test out the paint. Okay. So I don't know if I didn't mix it right. I don't know if it's clogged up. Because right now I installed the smallest needle, the 0.2 needle. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add more paint. It looks like there's barely any paint, so let me add more paint to it. And that's the thing, sometimes you get the ratio right away, or sometimes you gotta play around with it, make sure it's working for you. So let me try it again and see. So I may need to use a bigger needle. Maybe the 0.2 is not working as I was expecting right now. So I can see some paint, but it's not spraying the way I wanted it to. So let me try to spray some on the kit and see what happens. And yeah, sometimes I like to spray on my fingertip, on my fingernail, so that I can see if it's spraying any paint. I think the piece is getting darker, so I'm just gonna continue spraying the areas that I want dark, so or to show a little bit of shadow. So I'm starting to see black paint. The thing with this airbrush, I don't think it works really great with a 0.2 needle, so I wouldn't recommend it. I'm sorry that I'm using it for this video. I just continue using this airbrush since this is the airbrush I started doing the videos with. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish the part and then I'll show you guys the result. So here's the kit. So this is how it looks once I was on pre-shading the kit. So feel free to go heavier on the black. It's your kit. Don't be afraid to experiment. The first time that I did this too, I kind of didn't fade the black too well, so it looked like a mess. Unfortunately, with this airbrush, it wasn't the best either, but I continue using it just so you guys can see how this airbrush works. And it's not a bad airbrush, but again, it's not the best airbrush either, but it's really great for beginners. So once again, thank you for watching and stay tuned.